Before we get to Channing Frye, we of course pose the interesting question: what is LeBron James' son's middle name? Is he named after one of LeBron's teammates?
No, I wish.
Okay.
LeBron, Raymond James Jr. So exactly the same as LeBron with the junior.
Oh, so he has the same middle name.
Same middle name, same everything. Goes by Bronny, of course.
Oh.
Is that part of the rules of being junior, senior?
It is.
You gotta
Wait, you have the same middle name?
go all the way through?
My dad, I have the same middle name.
Oh.
It's like Clay Matthews. He's not Clay Matthews the third because I think he has a different middle name than his father or something like that.
I know somebody, and she has 3 daughters, and they all 3 have the same middle name. Marie.
Yeah.
And I went, why is that? And she said, I like the name. So they're all 3 their middle name. Yes, Todd.
That was like that scene in Goodfellas. Everybody was called Pete, Paulie, and Marie.
Channing Frye, Turner Sports NBA analyst, won a championship with the Cavaliers, co-hosts a road tripping podcast. How are you?
I'm good. Good. Life is good. I'm in Oregon and it's sunny, so can't be mad.
Whoa. Okay. Well, this time of the year, it's beautiful there in Portland.
Beautiful. Living in Narnia right now. I live in a forest. Amazing.
Okay. Help me understand what LeBron is saying, where he calls Kyrie the most talented player, gifted player who's ever played the game. What exactly does that mean to you?
You know what? It's easier to explain like this. When I work on moves, I have to imagine what I'm gonna do in the game, or when I get in the game, I predetermine he's running at me, I'm gonna dribble and then shoot and do this. Imagine Kyrie's mind works like the Matrix, where things work slower, and he's no matter what move or what direction you think he might be going in, he's able to just take the ball and put it anywhere he wants around him. He almost doesn't have a scouting report. You just have to be better than him. And I remember one time he was hurt, and then people were the guys that were coming off the bench. He was like, well, let me play all you guys one-on-one. It was almost embarrassing. I said, guys, this is I don't play defense in the first place. You got me out here getting roasted by Kyrie for 5 minutes straight. For what? This doesn't helping him. But he just even jab steps. And I don't think anybody puts 2 and 2 together. He's meticulous about the details, which allows him to play the game freedom of thought. So everything is reactionary, and that is rare. I don't know anybody else who plays like that. Somebody's like, well, I don't like going left or I don't like going right. He doesn't have that thing, right?
So you're co-signing on what LeBron is saying. He's the most gifted player in the history of the game.
Damn. Okay, I would say he's up there, but I've also played with Vince Carter. So, we talk about, because Kyrie is amazing when it comes to skill, but when you put skill and athleticism together, Bron is up there.
Yeah.
Vince Carter's up there. Shoot.
See, I'd put Steph Curry up there. I think Steph, he's not a jumper. He's not physical. Right. He's not fast. He's got to have a good handle to create separation. He can get to the hoop. Right. I mean, what he does to me is far more interesting than what Kyrie. Now, Kyrie in traffic is wonderful. But right. Steph, every time down the floor, his ability to still be able to shoot with range, and everybody knows that, they got to stop you.
I think what's nice about Kyrie, that's different than Steph, is his system, the way he's been successful is he throws the ball to somebody else, runs, and then when he gets it, you're moving. Where Kyrie says, I don't need to play, and anybody in front of him, whether you're his matchup, the best defender, the center, he just goes, it's me and you, and I'm going to get by you 9 out of 10 times.
Okay.
That's the difference. But I do. Steph is, I have nothing to say, man. Steph is special.
But what about Michael Jordan? Because if I'm going to take the totality of a basketball player, first team, all defensive, 9 years, and put him at the other end as well. Damn. So is anybody more gifted than Michael?
So I didn't play against Michael. Obviously, I watched him as a kid. You would say Michael. If we're going to go there, then I'd say Kobe Bryant. Like
Was Kobe?
and I tell this.
Yeah, but Kobe wasn't the defender that Mike was.
When he wanted to. Yeah. But you're right. He wasn't. But I would just still say he was when he wanted to. But yeah, I mean, we could put Michael up there. I'm not arguing. Like Michael is 1A, 1B, greatest player of all time. So
Would you take LeBron over Mike?
who else is on my team?
You're starting
That's a
your
big
team.
question.
No, you're starting your team.
Start a team?
Yeah.
Nah, I'd have to take Michael Jordan.
Okay.
I'd have to take Michael Jordan. That's my guy, but I'd have to take Michael Jordan because I could build around that.
Can you take us back in the huddle, if you remember, when you're lining up that last shot when the Cavs are playing Golden State, and Kyrie's going to take that shot?
Yeah.
But was that by design that Kyrie was going to take that shot?
Hell yes, it was. Hell yes, it was. So if you watch the film, Golden State's defense was immaculate just the whole year. And when Bogut got hurt, they played that smaller lineup a lot more. So they switched 2 through 5. So they switched with Clay, Andre, Sean Livingston, and Draymond Green. With Kyrie and Steph, when Steph was guarding J.R. Smith, he showed and get back. So on that last play, Klay Thompson is guarding Kyrie. We knew on that show, if you're showing, that's not the matchup that you want. Whether that's true or not, that was the call that we went to. So we said, get Kyrie on to Steph. Get Steph to guard Kyrie. Klay Thompson messed up, much like Jaden McDaniels messed up when he let Gobert guard Luka. Klay should have ran and stayed on Steph or stayed on Kyrie. When they switched, you saw Richard was on that slot position at the 3. When he cut through, it left that whole right side of the court open. And that's really what caused Kyrie to be able to go because Steph was doing this. And when he looked around, he saw that there was no help other than in that corner. And that's when Kyrie went to his bag and, history's history. But, I mean, listen, whether it was Clay or Steph or Jesus himself, I don't know if anybody was going to guard that kid at that time.
Channing Frye, co-host a Road Trippin' podcast. We have a bet. In fact, we just made the bet. I'm taking Bronny James to be drafted in the first round.
Oh, dang, that's a good bet. I heard you talking about this.
Pie to the face is at stake here.
Is he going in the first round? Does San Antonio have a pick in the first round?
Oh, you're saying San Antonio could be the landing spot?
If that was my son, I would want him to go to San Antonio. If that was my son, and he was that famous, why? Number one, the system. He's not in a big city. And 2, you are literally getting ready to play with the face of the league, Victor Wembanyama. So I'm not thinking about this year or next year. I'm thinking about the next 10 to 15 years. Who do you want to be around? And to me, that's Victor Wembanyama.
All right, Paulie, do the Spurs have a first-round draft pick?
They do, but it's the 4th overall pick.
That won't happen.
Nah.
They have the
No, second round.
and they have
Second
the
round.
5th pick of round 2.
Okay.
Okay. Second round.
Okay. San
Well, second
Antonio.
round.
Okay.
Why would you not? If you're a guard, who do you want to play with?
Oh, I agree. And he could use a point guard because he didn't have one his rookie year.
And he could shoot. He needs a point guard, needs somebody who could shoot.
Do you think LeBron would be upset with either the Spurs or the Lakers if his son goes there?
No. I just think, dude, at the end of the day, he's a dad. Like, he wants his son in the league. Like, if his son is good enough to play in the league and he's in the league, he's won. He's done his job as a dad. He set him up for success. Right?
Would you rather guard Doncic or Joker?
Ooh. I've guarded young Joker and young Luka, and both of them were a problem. Oh, that's a good question. I would probably say Joker because at the end of the day, he's a pass-first guy, which sounds crazy. But Luka has that mother effer in him where if somebody on the stands talks, he's looking at you and you're like, I didn't say nothing. Now you got to get barbecued, right? Like, that's the problem.
Wait,
that's why
somebody would yell at Luka and then he would take it out on you?
Yeah, like, there are certain players like that, but Luka, the guy sitting in the front row at the Minnesota thing was waving, "Stop being a baby." Lucas said, "Oh, you talking to me?" Okay, he looked at Anthony Edwards. He looked at Jaden McDaniels. He looked at Minnesota, said, "It's over for y'all." And gave him 20 in the first quarter. Like, you just got to – I think Boston should clap for Luka as he was on the Celtics. Maybe that will help.
But who did you like? Are you surprised that Joker has won 3 MVPs, or surprised that Luka is leading the NBA in scoring? Like, either one of you surprise you?
No, dude.
So you thought they were both going to be great?
I thought they would be great. I didn't know he'd win 3 MVPs.
Okay.
Right. And I got to give credit to the Denver Nuggets for seeing that through the Taco Bell commercial when he got drafted. But like, they've built a team of stability around him to be successful. Right. So Mike Malone's been a coach, 9 years? They've added Jamal Murray. They've added exactly the pieces he needed. And we don't talk about the Aaron Gordon trade or whatever that was enough, because it allowed Jokic to not get double teamed. You can't double team him when he has that lob threat right there. And to me, you got to give credit for taking a talent. He's talented and he's amazing, but you've also built him up to say, hey, we're going to build our system around you because you're unstoppable. And he's qualified for that. But Luka, we knew what Luka was a long time ago. He's just now in shape this year. Lord have mercy. It took him 6 years, but he's now in shape.
Any downside to Porzingis coming back into the lineup?
Downside? No. I think we have to be very unjudgmental about his first couple games. My man has not played basketball. He's played against his teammates. Nobody gives a crap about that. You have not played in the NBA Finals. The speed of the NBA Finals is crazy, right? Like, even for me, it was so funny. We were sitting after the Eastern Conference Finals. We cooked the Toronto Raptors, and then we got beat by the Warriors the first game. I got in at the end. I looked at my teammates. I said, yeah, this is moving a little too fast for the big fella. Y'all go ahead and play. Like, he's going to have to pick it up. And, honestly, they're going to go at him. They're going to go at him. They're going to go at Al Horford, because if he's up front guarding the screens, they're going to test his conditioning. So is he going to guard? Are they going to switch Luka on the KP? Now, if he gets downhill, who's blocking that lob threat? Yeah. That's where the game is. So to me, he's going to have to be in crazy good defensive shape. And then I don't know if he has to win his matchup versus Derek Lively or PJ Washington for them to have a chance.
I've been saying that Al Horford is going to be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done.
Oof.
Now I got to factor in Florida, where he won 2 national titles.
Totally.
So it's
Basketball Hall of Fame?
Yes, it is. Is Al Horford going to be in the Basketball Hall of Fame?
Not before Kevin Love.
Kevin Love, a Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah, stop. Yes. Oh, for sure.
Okay.
That's a for sure. And that's my boy, but he is for sure. So if Kevin Love gets in, I'm 50-50 on Al Horford. If he wins this year, I think for sure. I think he's won enough. But if he doesn't win ever, I would say no. But Al is great. Al's been a winner his whole career.
Now, I think Kevin Love and Al Horford both have been an All-Star 5 times.
Yeah, but one of them has a championship. One of them was the second best power forward for 3 years in the NBA. That's a little different. It's a little different.
Okay.
Al Horford's never been like, oh, is he better than, remember Kevin in Minnesota was like, wow, is he better than Tim Duncan and Dirk Nowitzki? Like, I don't know if we've ever talked about Al Horford that way.
No, we haven't. But I think, didn't Kevin Love have a 30-30 game?
Yeah.
Didn't he do a 30 points, 30 rebounds in a game in Minnesota?
I think he did, which is disgusting. I don't know if I had 30 rebounds in a month. He had one in one game. Yeah.
But I remember Paulie and I, what was it, Paulie?
Kevin Love, November 12, 2010, 31-31 in the game against the Knicks.
Damn.
Will we ever see somebody get 31 That's like a team rebound. That's what the Pacers rebounded last game.
Yeah, but Luka had a 60-20 game.
Scoring is very different than rebounding. Rebounding the basketball back in 2007, when there was a true center.
2010.
Huh?
2010.
2010 still. We still played a true center, a power forward, a big 3 guard, a pretty big 2 guard, and a medium-sized point guard. Like, he's battling in there with, remember, offensive rebounds was a thing. So, like, you're in there at that time. Like, for 30 is crazy.
He had 15 rebounds in the third quarter. Half of his
Who was
rebounds.
breaking that many
I was
shots?
going to say, you got to play a team that it's not, the Knicks weren't good. So that helps.
Oh, they were trash.
Yeah,
they were garbage.
Good luck with the podcast. Great to catch up
Thanks,
with you
man.
again.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us.
Of course. Thank you.
That's Channing Frye, Turner Sports analyst and co-host of Road Trippin' podcast. Take a break. Last call for phone calls, what we learned, what's in store tomorrow after this.